The Subcommittee on Joint Capital Outlay will come to order. Would the clerk please take attendance?
Chair Price.
Here.
Representative Steckloff, Brixey, O'Neill, Peary, Wilson, Alexander.
Here.
Slaw.
Here.
Steele.
Here.
Senators McDonald Rivet.
Here.
Irwin. McCann. McMorrow.
Here.
Camilleri. Santana. DeMoose.
Here.
Bumstead.
Here.
Heisinger.
Here.
Madam Chair, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. We will go at ease, call the chair for about 5 minutes. I appreciate everyone's patience, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thank you. calling the Joint Capital Outlay Subcommittee back to order. Thank you everyone for your patience. We're going to have Representative Brixey moves to adopt the minutes from the April 19th meeting. Without objection, so ordered. Representative Puri calls for or makes a motion to excuse absent members. Without objection, so ordered. The minutes are adopted. Sorry, I'm going off of order. Okay, now I'm back on track. Our first presentation today will be from Deba Aduja, Chancellor, and please correct my mispronunciation, Chancellor, and Chris Pearson, Dean of the College of Innovation and Technology at the University of Michigan, Flint. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and members of the Joint Committee for allowing this opportunity to us. I'm Deba Aduja, the Chancellor of U of M Flint, and joining me is Chris Pearson, also in a striped tie, but bolder striped tie, who is the Dean of the College of Innovation and Technology. I must begin by saying that we are very pleased and very grateful that both universities and community colleges are at the forefront of your agenda on this topic as you consider many competing priorities for the FY24 budget. And since this is my first addressing a large Senate and House committee, I just want to say I've been here 4 years, didn't have the opportunity, but I want to thank you sincerely for the appropriation that we get, U of M Flint. You hear always that it should be bigger and so forth, but whatever we get, we are very, very grateful. We are a tuition and appropriations-driven institution, so anything that you give us through your, I know you have a lot of issues that you deal with, so we are very grateful. So let me begin by sharing with you that CNBC every year ranks all 50 states on 10 categories and comes out with a release called America's Top States for Business. It is a data-driven approach, not opinion-based. Since the beginning of the study back in 2007, workforce has consistently been either the #1 factor or in the top 3. And this year, the latest, which is 2022, 23 will be released later in the summer, it is still the #1 issue. And in this category, Michigan and Illinois tied for the 26th spot, so Pennsylvania came in 28th. So we are in the bottom half in the workforce category. But two related categories are of interest here: education and technology and innovation. In education, the group that we are lumped with, Pennsylvania is #7, Illinois is #8. I lumped in our state to the south just because they are ahead of us. They are #11, and Michigan is #15. Technology and innovation is not as good. Pennsylvania is #5, Illinois is #6, Ohio is #22nd, and we are 27th. These are important things to keep in mind because we are in the knowledge economy. However, I do want to share good news for all of us. The state of Michigan has jumped 25 spots since this survey first began in 2007. So right now, as the best state for business, we are ranked number 16. That's very good news for us. With skilled workers in short supply, geopolitical conditions driving new push for domestic and manufacturing of batteries, EVs, semiconductors, Michigan must compete in this workforce category and continue this upward trajectory. It is our competitiveness imperative. A skilled workforce attracts and keeps businesses, as we all know. In demand, but in short supply, are STEM workers with college degrees. In the face of declining high school graduates in the state of Michigan, we have to be more creative and intentional. We have to focus on, you take the number, either 1.2 million or up to 2 of adults in the workplace who have some credits but have not acquired a degree. These are the non-completers, as they are referred to. We have to focus on them. We have to boost worker training programs, offer lifelong learning opportunities, not only when they're in the workforce, but as soon as they graduate, like our students will be graduating this weekend. So in other words, we have to be at the leading edge of this knowledge economy. I began my academic career at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I spent the next 30 years at big flagship institutions like Ann Arbor. Today, I lead a regional public university. To most Michiganders, R1s and regional publics are the same, but they're not. A regional university such as U of M Flint offers a much different value proposition. We draw most of our students from the state, and when they graduate, they stay in the state. We serve a large number of non-traditional adult students. We serve a lot of students with limited financial resources. Most importantly, with a focus on the future, U of M Flint serves local and regional businesses and the state of Michigan by creating in-demand programs and job-ready graduates. We all went through the pandemic, shifting classes online and so forth. We also did something very innovative at U of M Flint. During the pandemic, we started a new college, a brand new college. That's a pandemic baby. And this brand new college is what we are going to talk about. So let me hand it over to Dean Pearson.
Thank you, Chancellor. Madam Chair. Thank you, Chancellor, Madam Chair, and members of the Joint Committee. As clearly stated, we're focused on the future in the College of Innovation and Technology. Our very first class was just over 18 months ago, but the fact that we are new allows us to be nimble and respond to the market with high-demand degree programs in areas with outstanding career opportunities. Sal, the student pictured here, is part of the inaugural class. He happens to be a transfer student from another Michigan institution, and it took courage for him to transfer to a brand new college. Some time ago, I asked him, what inspired you to transfer? He said, I looked at the programs you offered, and they were in that middle ground. More technology than in a business program, but not requiring the advanced math of a traditional engineering program. This is what brought him to CIT. Recently, he told me that he's been successful in landing an internship with Stellantis. He also mentioned that the hands-on project-based learning environment of CIT is one of the reasons he was offered the internship. Opportunities are now available for him that he may not have even imagined as a possibility before. Creating opportunity is also how we focus on the future. The University of Michigan Flint enrolls nearly 6,000 students, with slightly over 1 in 5 from underrepresented minority groups. More than 9 in 10 are from Michigan, and approximately 1 in 6 are first-generation students. Almost 1/3 of our undergraduates are 25 or older, and they enjoy the third lowest tuition among Michigan public universities. We have been recognized as a gold-level, veteran-friendly school for 8 consecutive years. Of our 49,000 alumni, more than 4 in 5 reside in Michigan. Overall, our students are from Michigan and remain in Michigan after graduating, becoming important contributors to the economic growth of the state. The College of Innovation and Technology embraces a polytechnic tradition of workforce development through experiential project-based learning with authentic industry partnerships. These partnerships are critical as our partners co-create experiences for our students. I'd like to highlight that in our short existence, just over 18 months, we have partnered with over 30 companies. For your convenience, a complete list is in the brochure that was distributed. We are distinct in the market by adhering to this polytechnic tradition while focusing on the future with programs in cybersecurity, automation technology, software engineering, and others that are aligned with the current and future market needs. Consider these phrases that have become ubiquitous in our conversations: ChatGPT, chip shortage, EV transition. ChatGPT is artificial intelligence. Chip shortage and EV transition have become synonymous with the generational investments that are being made to onshore semiconductor and battery manufacturing. The College of Innovation and Technology stands ready to partner in supplying the talent for these and other new economy degree programs. However, an investment in infrastructure is needed to realize this future. CIT was launched during the pandemic and incubated using existing campus resources, but its size and anticipated growth will quickly constrain our ability to meet programmatic needs. We envision an innovation and technology complex to provide the infrastructure to educate and train students for well-paying careers within technology-related fields. The complex will also dramatically expand our capacity to provide degree completion opportunities for the million-plus in Michigan workforce who have some college credits but are not credentialed. In addition, it will provide essential space for research and innovation, enhancing the ability of faculty to work with students, research novel solutions, and engage with new industry partners across Michigan. Funding for the initial phase of the complex was obtained through a competitive grant from the U.S. Department of Commerce along with donor funds. Our capital outlay request is for the next phase of the Innovation and Technology Complex. Therefore, of a total investment of $50 million, 40%, or $20 million, will be provided through Flint resources. The Innovation and Technology Complex will feature state-of-the-art instructional labs and research spaces that are critical for new academic programming. It will also house the student, supportive, and administrative space necessary to produce a highly qualified workforce. There is need for controlled environments within the specialized labs. Additive and semiconductor manufacturing require a clean room free of particulates. Likewise, battery research requires low humidity environments. The Clean Energy Living Lab will provide students with hands-on experiences in clean energy technologies such as sun tracking solar cells, horizontal and vertical wind turbines, clean energy storage batteries, hydrogen fuel cells, and biogas production. The Data Visualization Lab will serve as the hub of data analysis and visualization in a collaborative, interdisciplinary environment, helping researchers visualize the expected and discover the unexpected in their data. Sustainable building goals include LEED Silver certification or higher and reducing carbon emissions by 30%. To accomplish this, a passive design solution that focuses on limiting utility demands while expanding upon natural ventilation and daylighting will be employed. Energy-efficient systems and a high-performance building envelope with improved glazing and low air infiltration are key aspects, along with water conservation and stormwater management. As our College of Innovation and Technology becomes a transformative leader in the polytechnic experience, it will drive economic development in Flint, the Genesee County region, and the state of Michigan. Through community programming such as Technology Saturdays, the Innovation and Technology Scholars Program, and by hosting trainings for upskilling and reskilling workers, the complex will be fully utilized by Flint and the surrounding community.
Just to close here, Vehicle City, birthplace of General Motors, iconic American city, manufacturing mecca. These all refer to the city of Flint. At one time, Buick plant in Flint was the largest factory in the world. Michigan was critical to US production needs during World War II. In 1980, Flint has the highest median income for young people in the country, higher than San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Detroit, you name it. All this to say, as cities and states go, Flint and Michigan are all American. Things changed in the 80s, and to be sure, the city has faced more than its fair share of challenges. Flint's population, which peaked at 200,000 in the 60s, this year has dipped below 80,000. As decision makers, I hope you will agree with me that the next 8 to 10 years for Flint are crucial. I live in Flint. It's scrappy, resilient, and strong. The University of Michigan is an anchor institution. At U of M Flint, we know that as a taxpayer-funded public university, we must do more than educate and graduate students. We have to live up to the higher purpose of higher education, and that is to become engines of social mobility and economic prosperity in the communities that we live in. That is the path U of M Flint is on, and we intend to play an outsized role in the revitalization of Flint and the great state of Michigan. Thank you again for your time. Dean Pearson and I would be pleased to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for presenting. Very thorough, plenty of information. In the interest of overall time and just being consistent, giving each project the full 15 minutes, I'm not able to take questions publicly right now, but I do encourage every member, if you have any questions about this project, to please send them to my office. I know how accessible, available you are to answer questions, and we'll make those questions and answers available to all members of our committee. So thank you very much for your time and coming in and presenting today. Next, we will hear from James Smith, President of Eastern Michigan University.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. It's our pleasure to be with you today. As the chair just said, I'm Jim Smith. I'm the president of Eastern Michigan University. I'm proud to say in 4 weeks I will finish my 7th year as president of EMU. It's my absolute honor to talk about the second phase of our engineering and technology complex, and we'll present that to you in just a moment. I want to introduce my colleagues. To my immediate right is Dean Mohammed Katu, who's Dean of our College of Engineering and Technology, and to Mohammed's immediate right is Mr. Scott Storr. Scott is Director of Facilities, Planning and Maintenance and Construction at Eastern Michigan University. They'll carry most of the weight in the proposal because they will stay on time and presidents will not. That's actually written in my script, I might add. We're excited to talk about a building that's much like this room. It is a historic building on our campus that we propose to renovate, taking the best of the old and combining with the best of the new, making an engineering and technology center out of what was once a historic high school that sits on a hill on our campus. We're building high-demand, high-wage fields, mechanical engineering, aviation, cyber defense. We're building all of that within this new facility, this remodeled facility, one that has some features that we could never build today. We're very proud of where we are with our undergraduate population, ranking #1 with underrepresented minority students by percentage in the state. we have, and Dean Cotu did this study just less than a half a year ago, we have for all of Michigan colleges and universities the #1 ranking of percentage of students who identify as Black and graduate in programs of engineering. And then, again, we're extremely excited to share that information and are proud of it. We're #1 military-friendly university in Michigan and #2 in the nation. And despite the fact that we think we've done some very heavy lifting in working with the populations that we serve so well, we've not been very successful in our capital outlay requests. I think if you look in the last 2 decades, we are near the bottom of the recipients of capital outlay. So we're hoping that we can make a compelling statement here for the facility and for what we do with the young people that we serve. So I will stop, and I believe, Dean Cotu, are you up next?
Yes, thank you very much, President Smith, and it's a great honor to be with all of you, Madam Chair, and respected senators and representatives. But I will start by making the statement again that this is the second phase of a phase that was self-funded on campus for the Game Above College of Engineering and Technology. The name College of Engineering and Technology was established in 2019, and the Game Above came in 2021. But the proposal we have is to renovate Roosevelt Hall, which is a historic building, as the President said. We're proposing $42 million for the project, $30 million coming from the state, and the rest will be funded internally. Next slide, please. We completed phase 1, which was Sill Hall, and it was internally funded. And that was also focusing on engineering and technology. The phase 2 that is being proposed is Roosevelt Hall. What you see in front of you there are the two buildings in the corner of campus. Next slide, please. This is actually a picture of the old Sill Hall and the new Sill Hall. And that is where our internal investment to transform this building in order to serve the state and to serve the companies and the people of Michigan. Probably, I think Mr. Strar can speak to this. That's the status of Roosevelt Hall.
Yeah, so this is our existing Roosevelt Hall for the Engineering and Technology Complex. As you can see, there's a lot of opportunity here for some modernization. We've got building systems that are well beyond their useful life. We have a lot of work to do on the facade. We'll have a complete renovation for the project, and just like we had in the slide previously, we anticipate to have a shining apple here as well with this project. So the project details, the renovation, it's a 75,000 square foot renovation for the existing building. It was built in 1924, and it was last renovated in 1972. We'll touch all the interior spaces for modern standards for the technology advancement education. We're planning for at least LEED certification on the project of this existing building. And we're going to impact both advanced technology and the engineering programs. And we anticipate approximately 250 construction trade jobs established from this work.
Well, going back to Eastern Michigan University, we are serving 15,000 students. We are the second oldest public university in Michigan. We have a very rich history, established in 1849. We have actually over 150 articulation agreements with community colleges in the region. And more than, or almost half of those articulation agreements with community colleges are in the College of Engineering and Technology. We are highly ranked for providing social mobility to students, especially underrepresented students. We're, as the President also said, the #1 Michigan public university in percentage of undergraduate students who identify as an underrepresented minority. This is according to the American Society of Engineering Education data that is published. We are the #1 military-friendly university. We're #1 in Michigan in percentage of students and graduates in engineering and technology programs who identify as Black, and 47% of first-year students receive Pell Grants. This slide is just to tell you that the programs that we're trying to target with this proposal are programs that are much needed in Michigan. The percentages you're seeing in front of you are the percentage of increases in jobs by 2030 and the annual turnover. It's all engineering and technology focused. As you see, cybersecurity is actually, we're among the first to establish a cybersecurity program in the nation. It's been the fastest growing program on campus, and this proposal also will help the cybersecurity program as well as the newly established engineering programs and the well-established aviation program. There is more. To give you more data, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, as well as the Engineering Society of Detroit, established data that there are more than 20,000 new jobs in engineering and technology in Michigan every year. This is at least, this data was reported in 2021. All of us combined, all engineering and technology programs in Michigan produce only 8,000 new graduates every year. You can see the delta. You can see that how much the problem that employers are facing in finding talent in Michigan. Our game above College of Engineering and Technology, we were in 2015, we were only 9% of the campus headcount. We're now 15% of the campus headcount. We are on our way by fall of 25 to be above 20% of the campus headcount, meaning that we are actually addressing directly what our employers are looking for in the lack of talent in engineering and technology. One thing that we are very proud of in the game above College of Engineering and Technology, I have about 12 industrial advisory boards that are all represented by, each one of them has at least 15 members. So we are entrenched actually in the community with the employers in Southeast Michigan and across the state. We know who the employers are. We know also what they're looking for. They're serving on our boards. They're impacting our curriculum to actually service them directly. Next slide, please.
So just a little bit of information. When it comes to the DTMB scoring, the Roosevelt Health Project actually has ranked #1 in the scoring for fiscal year 2023 and 2024. EMU does rank near the bottom, 11 out of 15 in capital outlay funding from the state since 1992. And EMU ranks 15 out of 15, tied for the bottom in the number of capital outlay projects since 1992.
I'll speak to this just picture that was taken where we are supporting the NISBE chapter, which is the chapter that black engineers basically sponsoring them to go to the most recent conference they have. We're very proud of the fact that we have the highest percentage of African American students in engineering and technology among all public and private universities in Michigan, and that is a targeted effort, I should say, that from our end. We work directly with the Engineering Society of Detroit. We have Girls in Engineering Academy that actually brings female students on campus to focus on engineering and technology. It's soft-funded. We raise actually funding for that. We work very closely also with the school districts where we bring hundreds, literally hundreds of female students to study STEM. As you know, probably the biggest delta in engineering and technology is a gender delta where female students are underrepresented in these disciplines. The other delta is the minority delta, meaning that we have a far less representation of underrepresented groups in engineering and technology. We're very proud of the fact that we are achieving the targets we're looking for by helping underrepresented communities. I will just say just one, probably this is the last slide. I will say that, as I mentioned before, we have 180 representatives of industrial members in Southeast Michigan and across the state. They are truly coming to us, begging us for more engineers and technologies, especially underrepresented. I am here coming to you to beg you, actually, to help me, help them achieve their target. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, we'll stand for questions if time remains.
We do have time for one question. So Senator Irwin, would you like to ask, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations on all your number ones, but especially number one in the DTMB ranking. So congratulations on that. Now, President Smith, I know that when you came to the university shortly after that, that's when the decision was made to start the College of Engineering and to really focus on that. So I know this is a passion of yours. So I guess I wanted to invite you to talk a little bit about some of the outcomes you're seeing. I think you gave us a lot of data on the need in the community and in the economy, the thirst out there for more engineers. But can you talk to us a little bit about how the engineers you're graduating have done, any data you have on like employment rates or things like that?
Well, we do have, thank you, Senator, we do have very impressive data, but I'm going to tell maybe a story here that Dean Cotu just shared with me about a week ago. He was walking across campus and a young lady was in her green gown. Obviously, you wear green and white at commencement on Eastern's campus, and she was asking him exactly, where should I take this picture? You know, I want to take the best picture. And Mohammed said, well, I'll do that if you'll tell me a little bit about yourself. And she said she had finished in engineering and she had gotten her first job offer, and it is in the automotive sector. And Dean Cotu knows the salary ranges, so he said 70s or 80s, and she said 80s. This is a young African-American woman who, by all probability, that number would not be available to her without the program. And I think that just speaks to the relationships we have with business and industry. We just had interns that were out at Roush Industries. Some of you know Jack Roush is a distinguished alum for Eastern Michigan. Jack says often to me, I will hire as many engineering students as you can convince to come to my plant. We are excited to hire more and more engineers. And another piece, and I know we're going to run out of time, but another piece was recently one of our construction partners said they had 19 engineering openings. Could we possibly help them fill any of those? So I think, Senator, what we're seeing is the need is great, the demand is there, the opportunity for students to earn far better than a living wage is right before them. We just want to continue to build on that momentum, and the industry partners that we have consistently are saying they want to do more and more to integrate with our students and get internship opportunities to lead them to the world of work.
Fantastic, thank you. And once again, if there are any additional questions, please send them to my office. I know how available, accessible you are to answer any questions that we have, and the answers will be made available to all members of the committee. So thank you again for coming in. Thank you for your time and for all that you do to serve your students and our state.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Our next presentation today will be from Curtis Ivory, President of Wayne Community College.
Is it on? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. Good afternoon, Chairperson Price and Chairperson Rivet. We would like to, first of all, thank you for this opportunity today to be with you and present.
I'm sorry, President Ivory, if you can just pull it a little closer to you, I think we'll be able to hear you even better. Oh, it's pouncing right back up, isn't it? That's interesting. There's another one next to you. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Now, can you hear me now?
Beautiful, thank you.
And esteemed committee, we would like to thank you for this opportunity today to present a program that we desperately need to have in place. And as I think about it, we could almost take the presentation given by our esteemed colleagues from University of Michigan at Flint and call it a day, because they're talking about exactly what we want to talk about. But obviously we're not talking about the kind of scale that they're talking about. but certainly what we learned a lot from the pandemic. But before I get into that, let me just introduce my team. We have with us today, we have Kim DeCaro, who's Deputy Chancellor and CFO, and we have Arvin Williams, who's our Senior Administrator for Facilities, and we have Dennis Carrick, who's also the Provost for the Center for Learning Technology, and hopefully we'll have time for them to make a comment or two, maybe hopefully make most of the comments. But we learned a lot from the pandemic. We learned as practitioners, as academicians, we learned a lot about what we didn't know. You know, we serve a population. We're the only true urban college in the state of Michigan. And I say that in terms of the constituencies that we serve. I mean, the barriers that our students are having to overcome. 72% of our students receive some form of financial aid. About 12% of our students are homeless. We have barriers in terms of transportation issues. We serve an interest in returning citizen population. So, and we don't offer that as a complaint. We simply offer it as a reality. And the pandemic brought it enlightened us in terms of the kinds of things we needed to do as we tried to pivot to the technology. And we discovered that there were a lot of things that we didn't have in place. And suddenly we realized that we need to be able to embrace the technology and give our students an opportunity to learn and do the online kind of programs that we couldn't do because we didn't have the technology in place. So particularly as we talk about career education and skilled trades, those are the kinds of programs that needed to be taught online, particularly during the pandemic. Now, post-pandemic, if we can call it post-pandemic, we've discovered that some of these programs, we need to continue offering, particularly the career programs online, as we try to create and be a part of this very important talent development for our region. So we asked you today, and we want to talk about the Center for Virtual Learning and Digital Careers. And the center is a repurposing renovation opportunity. We want to expand the ability to serve our students and communities using this, what we call the digital enterprise. We want to be able to serve our faculty and staff. We want to be able to have the center be the focal point for advancing virtual learning in all career education, university transfer, workforce development, and lifelong learning. The center will house new digitally based career programs and a digital media production space, graphic design technology, production development, prototyping, digital photography, technology, digital technology equipment, kinds of programs, and the potential earning wages. But let me just say that under this category, we have cybersecurity, we have graphic designers, film, video editors, sound, video technicians, and the salaries range from anywhere. And also, I should say, AI, which is something that we're now embracing, and hopefully we're going to be up to speed by the fall in terms of being able to offer some programming in that particular area. But we're looking at salaries that would range from somewhere from $45,000 to $70,000 annually. The center will also provide professional development for our faculty, for public school teachers, and community members through video conferencing and online instruction. The center will serve the college and the community groups in many ways, such as video, audio production services, video conferencing, and as a one-stop digital repository for the community. and I kind of alluded to earlier, we will develop programs through an equity-driven lens with special regard for those the marginalized and disenfranchised populations that we serve every day. And but we're going to do it with an understanding that we have to be aggressive and understanding what the digital divide means, understanding that we have to deliver instruction in a very technology-driven manner and make the technology accessible to all of our students, which we were not able to do in a way that we wanted to do in the past. We're probably, as we talk about where we are and kind of the way forward and looking at what we've achieved. And the thing that I'm most proud of is that during the pandemic, we were probably one of the few institutions to not experience a dramatic drop in enrollment. And in fact, our enrollment is up this semester. And we have every reason to believe it's going to continue to climb because it's about jobs and it's about an opportunity for our students to move forward. We anticipate that the programs at the center will be in high demand, and enrollment will include current students, additional dual enrollment students, and as I indicated earlier, continuing ed students. I would ask our administrator for facilities to talk a little bit about what the construction would look like at this moment.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harvey. It's a pleasure to be before this honorable body today. You have before you a packet that was handed out earlier. Forgive us for not having it on the PowerPoint. We didn't want any of our colleagues and competitors to plagiarize our beautiful design. So, but having said that, what you see there is our new concept for the new media building. As well as to give you some context, you see also University Center, the existing building, and then a site plan. And with that being, to just give you how this whole beautiful project is going to come together, we're so very excited. And just to talk a little more and embody more what Dr. Harvey spoke about is that before I even get into construction, just more from an instructional and academic point of view, we'll have editing suites here, a media lab, virtual classrooms. What that new building is going to do is just bolster what the college already does and attract even more. That building that you see, the concept there of that beautiful spandrel glass, you can see that tying into the veneer, what we call the veneer corridor, if you will, with 8 Mile. That will be a big attraction to students in the Harper Woods area as well. We are, of course, we're going to go for LEED certification. And if you visit any of our buildings that we have throughout the district, you'll notice the level of quality and excellence that we go for. Just as recently, the new health and wellness building. So again, we'll bolster all of our environmental upgrades as well. New HVC throughout both that building and the existing University Center building. So we're just excited about how all these new elements and components come together to just create what Dr. Harvey spoke of, such a wonderful project that's going to be in that new corridor.
And I'd ask our Deputy Chancellor to talk about the economic impact.
Thank you, Dr. Harvey. Good afternoon, and thank you again for the opportunity to present today. Employers in the Wayne County region will benefit from the programs of our Center for Technology for Virtual Learning and Digital Careers, as they will have access to highly skilled graduates who will contribute to their economic success. The Center for Virtual Learning and Digital Careers will serve as a truly diverse student population, including many first-generation and marginally compromised students. Taxpayers also benefit when individuals have up-to-date and advanced skills that businesses and communities need in order to advance the economic viability of Wayne County, the region, and the state. An independent planning and research organization with a 50-year vision for the revitalization of the city of Detroit focused on 4 key pillars of employment, which accounts for well over half of Detroit's job base. These 4 pillars are education and employment, digital and creative jobs, industrial employment, and local entrepreneurship. Because WCCCD contributes to all of these four sectors, all will benefit from the proposed new center. The digital and creative sector includes companies in information technology, but more broadly, companies that use web-based technologies and platforms to deliver service. The Downtown New Economy Cluster is part of a larger regional cluster that includes the IT divisions of global companies like General Motors, Stellantis, and GE. Although still small relative to its potential, Detroit has one of the fastest-growing IT clusters in the economy, and is a key reason why the Detroit metro area led the United States in tech-related job growth. According to the Michigan DTMB and the Bureau of Labor, Market, Information, and Strategic Initiatives, careers in the computer sciences are projected to grow by nearly 4 times that of overall job growth in Michigan. WCCCD already offers programs in some of the highest growth computer science areas, such as cybersecurity and software application development. Upgrades and in addition to our center are based upon other potential CIS growth areas with projected similar impact, including AI. WCCD's mission is to empower individuals, businesses, and communities to achieve their higher education and career advancement goals through excellent, accessible, culturally diverse, and globally competitive programs and services. Honoring diversity is one of WCCCD's board-approved value statements. Since our founding in 1967, WCCCD has embraced its core commitment to open-door access and the equitable treatment of all stakeholders. That mission is especially challenging and complex in urban settings like Detroit, where inequity abounds and in many cases has worsened over the past 50 years. We are proud of who we are and the economic value that we bring to our students, our communities, the region, and the state. Thank you.
We'll just take another moment and ask Dennis Carrick, who's the provost of the Center for Learning Technology, to just maybe add a comment or two.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and esteemed committee. I want you to think of a time when you were in high school and you didn't have these opportunities to be equipped with the necessary skills to thrive in the digital age right out of high school. I say that because we have a huge demand from our high school dual enrollment students and career education needs. This new center will increase the capacity and provide more opportunities for our students to gain those valuable tech skills that will help them succeed and thrive in the digital age.
And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for presenting today. I think we have time for one question, if there is any. And if not, I guess I'll take the privilege of asking a question. I'd like to hear just a little more about that open door access. And you noticed that it is especially challenging for an urban institution like yours. How do you help keep your doors and your facilities open to your students and other community members?
Well, I think we embrace, the open door philosophy, but as the other community colleges do, we tend to see ourselves as democracy's college. That's a term that's often thrown around. But it's about taking students where we find them and helping them move to where they need to be. And that in faculty, without a committed faculty, it's not going to happen. And we've been fortunate to have faculty who've been able to embrace students, take them where they find them, where they need to be. And we have support services in place relative to advising, the counseling kind of opportunities, and that's intense. Support services, intense. We have food and equity programs. We have clothing equity programs. But we try to, it's a kind of an ecosystem in terms of making students aware of what we can do. And we don't want students to leave. Once they come to the campus or want to enroll and register and in classes, we want them to be there and stay there. So that's part of making it work, because if we assume that they're going to come there with the reading skills at a level that we would often want them to have, we're not going to be successful. We have to accept the fact that they're probably not going to be where they need to be, but we have to embrace them at that level and take them where they would want to be. But open door, we have to be committed to that notion.
Thank you. Thank you. Very grateful for the services you provide to your students, to Detroit and the region.
Thank you.
Next up, we will hear from Peter Provenzano, Chancellor, and Joe Petrosky, Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at Oakland Community College. Welcome.
Good afternoon. OCC is absolutely thrilled to be here with you to share our plans, tell you a little about OCC, share our plans about helping our students get ready for the workforce. And as it relates to capital facilities, we're looking at expanding our skilled trades facility at our Auburn Hills campus. The cost of that expansion is $115 million, of which we're asking the states to help assist us with it at about 21% of that cost. I have a team of people here with me, not only up here at the table, but also in the audience, because we're not only really excited about this project, but we're passionate about our students. So I want to introduce a few of them. Joe Petrosky, as you mentioned, is our Associate Provost. He'll be going through the details of the project. I also have Tina Kostick, who is our CFO, joining us this afternoon. In the audience, Bo Everett is here, our Dean of Engineering, Manufacturing, as well as Industrial Technology, and Eunice Jeffries, who is our Director of Government Community Relations. And I'm glad to see, as I say her name, I know she's doing her job because I see a lot of smiles and heads nodding, so that means that she's out there in the community, so really appreciate the work that she's doing. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about OCC, if you're not familiar with us. We are about to celebrate our 60th anniversary. I like to call it our 60th birthday in 2025. And since we started holding classes in 1965, over 1 million students have come to OCC to take one of our 100 programs and certificates, and that's something we're really proud of. We're really proud of our reputation for good fiscal management. We have 5-year budgets, 10-year capital plan, and all of this planning, all of this thoughtfulness has really allowed us to keep our tuition low. It's at just $107 per credit hour. We have the largest police academy in Southeast Michigan, as well as the only FCA Mopar career automotive program in the region. In fact, 1 out of every 41 jobs in Oakland County is supported by OCC activities as well as our students. It's no big surprise, the landscape of higher education, and you heard this from our earlier presenters, the landscape of higher education is changing very, very rapidly. The way our students are consuming education is changing. Employers' needs are changing. And I'm really proud of the work that we've done to lay out a future to respond to those needs, those changes in our environment. In fact, we're really ahead of the curve on this. And what I'm talking about is future-proofing OCC. And so what do I mean by future-proofing? To future-proof something, you are designing or changing it so that it will continue to be useful and successful in the future as situations change. And so from a capital standpoint, we have been future-proofing our facilities. We, maybe a little over a year ago, we opened up a new math, science, and IT building at our Auburn Hills campus. We've broken ground on a brand-new culinary institute at our Royal Oak campus to help the employment needs of area restaurants. And we have announced the consolidation of all of our health sciences that are scattered across a couple of our different campuses. We're going to consolidate those for efficiency at a brand new renovated facility at our Farmington Hills campus to help our hospital partners. Next on our agenda of things to do to future-proof OCC from a facility standpoint is to expand our skilled trades facility. It's something that is in dire need. We are busting at the seams at a very dated facility at our Auburn Hills campus. Just to mention, our last capital outlay project from the state was back in 1993. We received about $5.25 million from the state, and we continue to appreciate your support in every way. Now I'd like to hand it over to Joe Petrosky to walk through some of the details of our project and request.
Thank you very much, Pete. As Chancellor Provenzano mentioned, the request is to renovate and expand our skilled trades and industrial technology building. This building is home to what we call our Emmett area, engineering, manufacturing, industrial technologies. It houses programs like the automotive service, robotics and automation, welding and fabrication, computer-aided design, construction management, electrical trades and electrical technicians, heating, ventilating, air conditioning, a pre-engineering program that we just formalized last year, machining, computer numerically controlled machining, industrial apprenticeships, and mechatronics. The building was built in 1970, 53 years old, as Chancellor Provenzano mentioned. 1970 was the year that Ford introduced the Pinto. The entry price of the Pinto in 1970 was $1,800. Man, times have changed. How many people exactly? You know, the visuals on the slides kind of show some of the things that need to be updating within the facilities. You know, we did update a little bit of that, and it really just reinforced that we need to do that complete renovation. You see the crowded labs. These areas are all very equipment intensive. It is hands-on learning. That's a hallmark of all these programs and what industry demands. And it's not energy efficient either. You know, cars have changed much in 50 years, and the face of manufacturing has changed radically in the 50 years also. Our building, not so much. Our goal is to be attracting, educating, and retaining the students for the future workforce of Michigan to allow Michigan and Oakland County businesses really to compete effectively in today's complex and ever-changing technology, mobility, and advanced manufacturing sectors. These are great careers in good-paying areas, but we need to attract the students. Last week, we held our first ever signing day with the National Coalition of Certification Centers, and that's a college-industry partnership. Again, industry is so key to everything that we do. To celebrate those students choosing to go into career and technical education areas. It was a great success. It was even picked up by CBS Detroit. The event was modeled after when athletes choose their college teams with a signing day. You know, it's a whole lot easier to attract your students if not only your coaches and team is good, but you've got a great stadium and a great training facility. And that's our case. We've got a great team at OCC in these areas, but we need the facility to reflect that, especially when many of our prospective students have more modern facilities within their high schools. So that's the background. You know, more importantly is the vision and the plan. The OCC Auburn Hills campus is situated in one of the largest technical employment areas within Michigan and the United States. And we're planning a renovated and expanded facility to ensure that we supply that technical talent for our economy, for the employers, and most importantly for those students to be thriving. So we're going to renovate the existing building, Building A as we call it. We're going to expand it with a 95,000 square feet of new flexible and classroom space and lab space. So it's going to be a total of 200,000 square feet in all. We're going to be co-locating our economic and workforce development activities, which provide short-term, high-intensity cohort-style training, boot camp-style training, to further our work in creating stackable credentials and career pathways with multiple on-ramps. We do that very effectively today so that we develop some transferable credit within those short-term training programs. The new space will reflect the image of today's modern manufacturing and technology work environments. So important. The new area will allow for flexibility and space upgrading for existing programs, like the automotive technology program. As we get into vehicle electrifications, batteries, fuel cells, connected and automated vehicles, so we're expanding those programs with the new technology, as well as responding and developing new programs to industry demands as they're occurring. Additive manufacturing, modeling and simulation is coming down to technician levels now, where it was only engineers in the past. Chip manufacturing, cyber physical systems, all things that we look forward to growing into this space. We will incorporate features to further our action with the community and the K-12 audience to attract and support careers in these programs, including a makerspace area. You know, you see on these pictures The visual cues of the spaces, the visual cues of the spaces, and kind of a windowing in to the experience and the learning in these technical areas. You know, that's so important to attracting the students on unfolding the story of these career pathways and supporting our economy. The new building, in addition, will also address the energy efficiency and safety issues critically important for the new facility. And we'll be striving to meet LEED certified levels of intent with automated controls, you know, low flow fixtures, energy recovery systems, and other sustainable practices and energy efficient systems. Our capital request scored well. It was the 5th out of 22. Last year we were number 1 on the list. We got bumped down a little bit because we were much higher, but lost the 20 points due to the cost, overall cost, despite requesting less than 50% of the match allowed. You know, we did max out on the max score as our match level is so high, but as a larger college with building projects that are much larger, you know, it is a comprehensive project. The state match would be about 20% of the overall project. As Peter mentioned, the last capital outlay that OCC received was in 1993. That was 30 years ago, and only $5 million. Coincidentally, in 1993, Ford introduced the Lincoln Mark 8, produced at the Wixom Assembly Plant. Both of those are gone now, so it's been a long time too. Oakland County has boosted, Oakland County is strongly engaged in supporting Michigan's 60 by 30 goal to increase our post-secondary credential attainment. And we've boosted in Oakland County to 80 by 30 for our county goal. We're excited about this project, what it means to our students, the businesses, and the community. We hope that you're excited about it too, and we ask your support. Any questions you may have?
Thank you very much for your presentation. And yes, we have time for a question. Rep. Steele.
Thank you for your presentation. I appreciate the investment in Auburn Hills. That is my district, is Auburn Hills campus. So, and I appreciate the consolidation. I think that is, you know, utilizing the buildings to the best of their, you know, useful life. My question is your, do you have any programs with any of the high schools to do like a graduate with an associate's degree? There was a couple high schools that did it with different colleges. And do you have any internship programs to facilitate the need around Auburn Hills for jobs for the industries in that area? Thank you.
You want to talk about the internships?
I'll do the internship side first, because those internships are built into to many of our programs that we have. We're increasing not only internships, but other forms of experiential education that you get while you go to the college. We've been very strong on expanding our apprenticeship activities. OCC is the lead, the fiduciary for a $4 million Department of Labor grant, expanding apprenticeships within Oakland County. We've recently shifted apprenticeship to be out of the career services area because it is so complementary with internships. We've also received another private grant that's allowing us to bring on some career connectedness of coordinators, so we can also bolster project type work and things that you're doing, micro internships, to be able to get all those type of things, because we do find it is so important to have that experience while you're in high school, while you're, you know, from high school and as you get into college, to know these careers and to have that integrated into the educational program. Peter, do you want to talk
Sure, and let me answer your question briefly about our partnerships with K-12 school districts. So there are numerous dual enrollment programs across Oakland County with Oakland schools, but also between OCC as well as the individual school districts. We also have an early college at our Farmington Hills campus with that's a partnership with West Bloomfield Schools, which is really neat because those students are actually the high school is actually located on our campus, so they have a full experience there at OCC. So we have strong partnerships and relationships with dual enrollment and our K-12 partners, and we're hoping to strengthen that even further because we really believe in really a seamless continuum between high school and OCC, where you almost should have to, I always say you should almost have to opt out of going to OCC. And so we're looking to strengthen those partnerships. In fact, Just on Monday, there was a major announcement through the Detroit Regional Chamber, who's facilitating a grant from the Wilson and Balmer Foundations. OCC received a $6 million grant. Part of that grant will strengthen those dual enrollment relationships with K-12 to further expand what we're doing. That, we believe, is a key to introducing students at an early age to a college education. It helps with their self-esteem, and it really gives them a jump start.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time and sharing the story of your community college. Our final presentation today will be on Zoom. So if you could do me a favor and just turn off the microphones up there, I think that might be helpful. And on Zoom, we're going to hear from Danny Alexander, Vice President for Campus Planning and Operations for Kalamazoo Valley Community College. Mr. Alexander, are you there?
I am here.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can hear you. We're not able to see you. Okay. We're just fixing a little tech issue on our end, so just give us a moment, please. Thank you for your patience. Okay, we see. There we go. We see the PowerPoint and we can see you. Perfect. Okay, you may begin. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Well, first and foremost, I want to say good afternoon and thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee, for the opportunity to present to you today and tell you more about Kalamazoo Valley and more specifically our capital outlay ask from the state. I want to tell you today a little bit about community colleges. I know you've learned from our colleagues that have presented previous, but tell you a little bit more about community colleges and the impact that community colleges have, Kalamazoo Valley specifically, and then also tell you more about our project. So community colleges are often at the center of workforce and economic development in the regions that they serve, bringing employers, offices of economic development, workforce boards, advisory groups, and other organizations together to improve the economic prosperity of businesses, workers, families, and the communities that they serve. I just want to share with you just three of the goals of community college-led economic and workforce development efforts. One being improved economic prosperity of workers, businesses, and communities. Two, increased use of innovative educational and training practices. And three, building and sustaining high-quality programs and services supportive of regional economic growth strategies. The reason why these goals are necessary is we believe that community college graduates will become employees with valuable credentials that will help build and reinvigorate the middle class. The training provided by community colleges can help rebuild the U.S. workforce and improve its global competitiveness, address inequality, reverse the decline of the middle class, and restore the promise of the American dream for all. Community colleges are uniquely positioned to foster an environment that honors, respects, and embraces the full diversity of students and leaders who are receiving post-secondary education and training. At Kalamazoo Valley specifically, the average age of our students is 24 years old. 11% of our student population identify as Black or African American, and 8% as Hispanic or Latino. There are slightly more women than men who are enrolled at our college, and 73% of our students are enrolled part-time. Many of our students are first generation in their families to attend. And over the last 54 years, more than 300,000 individuals have enrolled in at least one class at Kalamazoo Valley. Over the last 54 years, nearly 43,000 Kalamazoo Valley degrees or certificates have been awarded. Kalamazoo Valley now serves more than 9,000 learners annually on our 4 campuses that we have. Over the past 5 years, Kalamazoo Valley has had just short of 3,000 individuals enrolled in our skilled trades programs. And of those, there are about 400 enrolled in our automotive technology program, which brings me to the opportunity to tell you a little bit about our project. And I will mention just once again how appreciative I am for this opportunity. I wish I could be there in person, but I wouldn't miss this opportunity to tell you about this exciting project. So this is a $39 million project. The ask is for $19.5 million from the state. and the other 19.5 million coming from Kalamazoo Valley. This would allow us to reimagine our industrial trades wing. The remodel of existing skilled trades laboratory spaces will increase the footprint for electrical technology, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, computer-aided design, computer information systems, and welding, further increasing the college's ability to meet the growing demand in each of these fields. Additionally, it will provide crossover space to meet emerging technology programmatic needs in a variety of skilled trades areas such as construction technologies and energy system technologies. More specifically, I'll give you examples of solar and battery and the like. Also, a major part of this project is our automotive technology program offerings. It will increase our capacity to continue to offer more programming and alternative fuel sources, biodiesel for medium and heavy duty trucks, and autonomous driving vehicles, diagnostic and repairs. The reach of Kalamazoo Valley Community College is broad and deep in the Southwest Michigan region, and is part of an economic force to continue to provide and increase the preparation and pipeline of skilled professionals for our communities. The communities served by Kalamazoo Valley are diverse in all aspects, urban and rural settings, diverse by age, race, ethnicity, gender, and experience in higher education. Once again, more than 300,000 students have enrolled in the college since its founding in 1966. And many Kalamazoo Valley graduates stay in the area after degree completion to help make the region a prosperous and vibrant. We're also proud of our partnerships with 22 high schools in the Kalamazoo and Van Buren counties region. Additionally, there are more than 320 Kalamazoo Valley students participating in the college's apprenticeship program with more than 70 different companies. And I'm just going to name a few of our partners that we're really excited about the opportunity that we have to partner with them. These include Perigo, American Axle, Stryker Instruments, Molson, Landscape Forms, Parker Hannifin, Metal Technologies, and also Esper Electric, just to name a few. That's not an exhaustive list, but I just wanted to acknowledge how important those apprenticeships and partnerships are for Kalamazoo Valley and also to this project and in response to the demand that these projects and partners are asking for us to meet. I would like to also share a video with you of a young man that we're really proud of at the college, Jaden Hooper.
Mr. Alexander, I just heard from our clerks. Please don't try to share the video on your end. It will, just the technology here, we will share it right now on our end. So if you'd like to pause your speech, and everyone here will be able to see the video. I understand it's less than 2 minutes long, and then we'll go back to you. Okay, go ahead with the video, please. Thank you.
My name is Jalen Hooper. I'm a second-year student in the Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning program at Kalamazoo Valley Community College. When I was in high school, my education wasn't a priority. But after going through plenty of ups and downs, I finally got together and brought my grades up. The HVAC program is perfect for me because I love hands-on education. It allows for me not to sit behind a desk, stretch my legs, and get my hands dirty. To be honest, it's just fun. I think that learning a skilled trade is one of the most valuable things you can do, especially for my age group. And KVCC understands the importance of that. They reach out to students like me and make it easy for us to understand the impact that we have from learning these skills. It's difficult, but I know what I'm fighting for, and the payout is going to be worth it. One of the many things I love about KVCC is how personable the staff is with me. They take time to praise me when I'm doing really well, and they also let me know when I need to step it up. I love that they keep it real with me, because that's the type of communication I need. When it comes to getting what I want out of life, I'm not afraid to work hard. I pay for all my classes out of pocket, but it's also great to get the financial help I need to propel me through this journey. Juggling work, school, and everyday life is a challenge, so I was really grateful when I received a scholarship from the KVCC Foundation and the Federal CARES Act funding. The scholarship helped me get my tool bag and everything I needed for class. The funding took away the pressure of me paying for everything so I could focus on my education. Being a part of KVCC's HVAC program has been a blast. I've learned so many valuable things. I recommend that anyone my age get into skilled trades. When it comes to experience, hands-on learning, having fun, and being supported by a transparent and caring staff, this is the place to be.
Okay, Mr. Alexander, I'm not sure how that was received on your end, but we have finished watching the video.
Okay. So hopefully you all received some other information that was provided so you can learn a little bit more about our project. And with that, that concludes my talking points here, and I'll open it up for any questions that anyone may have.
Senator McCann.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Alexander, thank you for your presentation. I want to have you just go back and just tick off those trades again for my benefit, and then talk about just very briefly the demand that you see in those fields. Can you do that?
I can.
Thank you.
I can. Thank you for that question, Senator. So the programs that will be included in this project include our automotive technology program, our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning program, our electrical technology program, computer-aided design, information systems, and our welding program. And also gives the opportunity to expand also into construction technologies and energy system technologies as well, around solar and batteries and the like. And, you know, really one of the demands is not just that it's great to have this project, which it is wonderful to have the project, but this project's being driven by demand. You know, really important partnership for all of our skilled trades programs are our advisory groups that come from industry partners. So they are really involved in working shoulder to shoulder with us in partnership to ensure that we have a quality program, but also to meet the demand within the labor market. And right now, we are all experiencing aging workforce, and the desire and demand for talent is really high. We really value those partnerships we have so that we can enter into apprenticeships to ensure that our students are able to actually complete programs. You know, there were times that they were being recruited and entering the workforce before they had a chance to complete. So those partnerships are key to really begin to allow our students to complete and truly be prepared to answer the call when it's time to fill those important roles within these particular industries that I mentioned.
Thank you. I think all of the people who provided testimony today made the case very clear that we have an incredible amount of demand in certain areas of our workforce. And I'm so pleased to hear how institutions like yours are stepping up to meet those demands. And here on our end, we have this joint capital outlay process, which enables the state to go out with our bond rating, with our tools to use bonds to make investments in our institutions of higher ed, and that's a priority for us. So thank you to everyone who's here. Thank you for all of my fellow committee members, my colleagues. I kept you a little bit later today. We'll try not to make that an ongoing theme, but I'm very grateful for your time and for giving the attention to all of these projects that they so very much deserve. So thank you all. There being no further business, the subcommittee will stand adjourned.